Well, what were the medical facilities like?
Oh, terrible, terrible.
And if you could describe what the camp hospital looked like and how it was run and all of that.
Okay, you know, one of those buildings similar to the barracks, but I think a little better.
And it was a small place, like a size of like a barrack, about half of a barrack, regular half of a barrack.
I mean, they had operating rooms, they had laboratories, I know they had a place for a demented patient. They had isolation section. There were some tuberculosis patients.
And he was the first isolated case in camp, and so they put him in this abandoned post office building, which was first used, and the camp outgrew it, so they had to move.
Then they had the men's ward and the women's ward.
And what was the hospital like?
They just had beds, and the doctors, whatever medication was available, would give you, but they didn't have no penicillin those days.
Have to be
Not
in this
enough.
situation?
And not enough medication or not enough research to be done on any of these patients, you know. And so
it was, for the times, I mean, you can say we didn't have the modern today's shortages. I mentioned that, well, things like razor blades, of course. Medication.
She said they didn't have anything. And even when she set it up, there still wasn't enough because there was no money, money to buy the needed equipment and things like that.
she dreaded going to a hospital, but we had to put her in the hospital at the camp, and which was ill-equipped and, ill-serviced, because the nurses always kept saying, if the Japs come, then we're not gonna take you with us, And Mother lived in fear all the time, and they were not nice to her.
That the nurse's aide came to bring his lunch, and the nurse's aide would just take it and shove it to him and go out. And, well, I felt like he had a leper or something.
But on the other hand, there were a few people that I knew died at the hospital because they did something that wasn't right. But on the other hand, there were a few that lived because the doctor did right. So I cannot accuse the doctors, but I'm sure most of them were really doctors.
It's sad to think that we were there at that time.
They said, don't go to the doctor, don't go to the doctor, take care of yourself.